Zhuangzi's Fables and Their Wisdom, Module 3, on Craftsmanship. Lesson 5, The Influence of External Factors. Fable 1, Learning to Walk in Handan.
Master, do you think it's very important to keep up with trends and always learn the new things?
You can keep yourself updated with the trends, but you do not have to learn every new and fashionable thing. Today, I want to tell the fable of learning to walk in Handan. Handan is the capital of the state of Zhao. The fable also concerns another state, the state of Yan, which is next to the state of Zhao. Once, there was a young man in the state of Yan. He looked like an ordinary man who was not lacking food or clothes, but he lacked confidence. He always thought everyone else's stuff was better. Others' clothes and dishes were nicer. Even the postures of standing or sitting were more elegant. He learned what he saw, but he never finished what he learned. He didn't know how to fit in. One day, when he was walking along the road, he heard some people talking and laughing.
You know, it is said that Handan people's walking style is beautiful. They walk with special posture that you can't even imagine.
Oh, really? How beautiful is the way people walked in Handan? I must go to have a look and even have a try. I'm determined. I will go to Handan to learn to walk.
Finally, he went to distant Handan to learn how to walk without telling his family. When he arrived in Handan, he felt that everything was so new that he could not stop. He observed how the local people walk, how they moved their legs with their shoulders leaning from side to side in a special rhythm. Seeing a child walking, he felt it was lively, and he learned. Seeing the old man walking, he felt it was steady, and he learned. Seeing a young man walking, he felt it was smart and neat, and he also learned. He tried to imitate them, but he failed, and his body seemed to be uncontrolled. Where to put the leg and the shoulder? He was so defeated that he totally could not walk in the Handan style. What's worse, he even forgot how to walk in his own way. The end of the story is funny. The young man had to crawl back to his home. I would say, when we are always trying so hard to follow the fashion, we cannot do it without a critical mind of judging. Does it really suit me? Do I really need it? Critical thinking is always the foundation of strategic thinking, creative thinking, and good decision making.
Learning to walk in Handan has become an idiom in Chinese, which means that someone can't imitate others perfectly and forget something that he originally has. This fable is especially intriguing in this information explosion era. We are encountered with all the advertisements, blogs, and news. They all try to show something appealing. If we just follow the trend with a herd mentality, we may very possibly become like the young boy who wanted to learn to walk in Handan and failed to have his own character, traits, and abilities. So this is why critical thinking is necessary. This is the end of this fable. Fable 2, Qing makes a bell stand.
Master, do you think the external conditions would also play a significant role when we try to accomplish some great things?
Of course. The external conditions are critical. We are not isolated from our surroundings. However, your attitude is more important. I want to further illustrate this with the fable of Qing makes a bell stand. Qing was an excellent carpenter, and he was famous for making bell stands, which were a kind of wooden musical instrument. Even the Marquis of Lu admired him very much. Qing, the official carpenter, made bell stands, and anyone who saw them was amazed by the supernatural workmanship. The Marquis of Lu heard that and summoned him.
The bell stands made by you are so fantastic! What's your trick?
I'm just a carpenter, and there is no trick. When I make a bell stand, I don't want to exhaust my energy, and I would fast for several days before I get started. During the first 3 days, I have dismissed all my thoughts of payment or reward. After 5 days, I have no fears of ruining my reputation due to poor workmanship. After 7 days, I have missed all the awareness of my own body. At this time, I have forgotten the state where I live, and all the distractions have disappeared. Then I go into the forest. I search for all the trees that might fit the natural shapes of bell stands. I make closer comparison of every tree that I meet. I touch them by hand. I keep asking myself, what can I do with this tree? Which part does it fit into? If I find a tree of the right shapes, I fit them together as bell stands. If I can't find them, I won't make the bell stands and I will keep searching. I think this is why I can produce the bell stands that are really marvelous.
If we want to achieve the best state, we should have a good state of mind. We have to be well aware of when to hold fast and when to give up. And try to make use of the most suitable materials. Only when we focus on the work itself rather than ourselves can the work be done well. This is the end of this fable. Fable 3. Recluses who don't hide themselves.
Master, it seems that the external influence is kind of negative. Is it better for us to be immune to all the external influences?
Not really. Let me tell you the fable of the recluses who don't hide themselves. A recluse usually lives alone, works alone, eats alone, and generally stays away from other people. But true recluses do not have to hide themselves.
I'm one of the so-called scholars or recluses. Most people have misunderstood recluses.
Have you heard that there is a recluse living in the deep forest? It's quite mysterious.
I know recluses. They always hide themselves and refuse to be seen. They seldom talk so no one can know their true feeling.
It is also said that they shut away their wisdom on purpose and refuse to share it.
That's a recluse.
But these are misunderstandings. Recluses of great wisdom do not necessarily hide themselves from the world. Mostly, recluses hide themselves because they try to keep themselves alive in the difficult times. This is true for me. Living in the current difficult times, I don't want to use elaborate style to express my knowledge. However, when the right time comes and it will be possible for me to display my talent, I would certainly spare no efforts to do the great things. When the times are not favorable, I put down deep roots, remain still, and wait. So I don't disturb anything in the world through my knowledge, nor use knowledge to try and disrupt virtue. Alone and hermit-like, I stay where I'm by myself and restore my innate nature. This is the Tao by which I can survive.
Just like the recluse in this fable mentioned, those of great wisdom know when to hide themselves and when to show themselves. Solitude is not directly measured by distance. In the Book of Walden, Life in the Woods, Henry David Thoreau mentions, solitude is not measured by the miles of space that intervene between a man and his fellows. The really diligent student in one of the crowded hives of Cambridge College is as solitary as a dervish in the desert. Similarly, Zhuangzi suggests that a recluse of great wisdom does not necessarily hide himself from the world, but the recluse in Zhuangzi's fable is protecting himself from the difficult times and waiting for the right chance to display his talents. So seizing the right moment might be the most critical external factor. This is the end of this fable. Thank you for watching.